Welcome to Dark Magic Stories. Tonight's tale, The Handover, Episode 8 of Pruett's Sinister Escapades. Rain falls over Paris, old loyalties splinter, and in a sanctum built of relics and ruin, Pruett faces those who would see him end. But when obsession takes root, it does not surrender quietly. Episode 8, The Handover. The confrontation came not in some abandoned manor or ceremonial hall, but in the heart of Pruett's sanctum, a crumbling cathedral-turned laboratory in the forgotten fringe of Paris, its stained glass shattered and replaced with shelves of specimens and occult relics, a perfect place for old monsters to bargain. Candles burned low in iron sconces. The cold air reeked of vinegar, ash, and ancient blood. And yet, Pruett looked at ease, fingertips drumming along the lid of Monsieur's jar, humming softly to himself. The door groaned open. Marcella entered first, draped in black satin, her eyes sharp and cold. Léonis and Luc flanked her. None of them spoke at first. The silence was brittle, waiting to snap. Pruett smiled wide. "Ah, the new queen arrives. I was beginning to worry you wouldn't show." "Where is it?" Marcella demanded. "Monsieur and I were just reminiscing." He gestured to the glass jar. "Still whispering secrets, if you listen close." Marcella's gaze locked on the jar. "You mock his death?" she snarled. "No," Pruett said gently. "I revere it. His voice guides me. It always has." "This meeting is a formality," she said. "There will be no forgiveness." "I kept him preserved," Pruett replied with a grin. "You should thank me. Most decomposers wouldn't be so considerate." "You desecrated our king," she snapped. "You dissected him like a lab rat and carried his head around like a bauble." "I gave him purpose," Pruett said. "His voice has never been clearer. Listen close. You'll hear him." Léonis stepped forward. "Enough. You are deluded. A daemon who speaks to preserved heads." Pruett chuckled. "Ah, but even I remember. He told me secrets, you know, about your precious Dorvo, about the first vampire, about the bone he hid from even you." Marcella's eyes narrowed. "Bone?" "A piece of Dorvo himself," Pruett replied. "Monsieur had it, passed it to me. And now, it is part of something larger." "You lie. He would have never done such a thing." "But he did." Marcella took another step forward, her fangs exposed. "I will kill you for what you've done." "You can try," Pruett whispered, "but I wouldn't recommend it." Without another word, she lunged with Dorvo's swiftness, inhuman, honed and lethal. But Pruett met her with equal force. He grabbed her throat mid-lunge and slammed her into a pillar so hard it cracked behind her. She clawed and kicked, her rage giving her strength, but he grinned. "Did you think I'd go quietly?" he whispered, then opened his mouth and fed. Psychic energy began to funnel from Marcella's mouth to his. Her eyes widened in horror, and her limbs twitched once, then convulsed. Luc roared and launched forward, Léonis at his side. They clashed with Pruett, blows fast and brutal in their attempt to rescue Marcella, but before they could, a blur of motion crashed between them. Pruett took in Julian's scent before the Dorvo brothers had a chance to respond. Julian grabbed Luc by the throat and threw him against a wall. He then struck Léonis, landed hard on his back. Teased by his display, Pruett's eyes turned stark black, a demon trait. "Brother, why I thank you for your appearance. I wasn't in need of a rescue." "Just," he scrunched his lips, "just get it over with." Pruett returned to his meal, sucking deep and fast. He felt her psychic essence recharging the dark magic in his body, and when he finally released her, Marcella collapsed to her knees. Her body shriveled and grey, a husk of who she'd been. Leonis jumped to his feet. "You killed her!" "I warned her. I warned you all!" Julian shot back. Luke pushed to his feet, fury burning in his eyes. "She was our queen." "Find a new one," Julian replied. "You," Pruett pointed at Leonis. "I think you would make an excellent Dorvo king." He tilted his head slightly right, although I don't think your head would look as good as Monsieur's in jar. "Be quiet, brother," Julian barked. They watched as Leonis turned to Luke. In their eyes, Pruett saw an agreement taking place, and it wasn't long before their desire to revenge Marcella's death dissipated away. Leonis looked not at Pruett, not at Julian, but at the jar. "I don't care about the head," he said, "or the bones, or revenge. I want peace." Pruett tilted his head. "Peace? If you leave Paris tonight, we'll say nothing of what happened here." Pruett looked between them, then to the jar. His fingers tapped its lid absently. "Tempting," he mused, "but I do tire of this city." The jar vibrated softly, and a whisper only he could hear coiled through his mind. "What say you, monsieur? Should we go?" He closed his eyes. Silence. Then a whisper. Only he could hear it. His hand trembled for just a moment. Then he nodded. "You're right. There's more to find. Waiting is such boredom, especially when there are more bones to go." He cradled the jar with reverence and turned to Julian. "I guess thanking you for all this is in order?" "I didn't do it for you," Julian growled. "Just go." "I go, and you will finally get the peace you've craved for centuries." How touching. Without another word, he left his home, the place where his madness took root, with the jar nestled in his arms like a child. He stepped out into the Paris night. Rain had begun to fall. It slicked the rooftops and hissed against the cobblestones. He didn't look back. "Come now, monsieur," he whispered to the jar. "Curtains down. The critics are dead." The acquisition of Monsieur marked a turning point in Pruett's descent into madness. The head became his confidant, his partner in experiments, and, in many ways, his obsession. To the Demon, it was a grotesque trophy. To the man, and for Pruett, it was a masterpiece. In the years that followed, Pruett would claim that Monsieur spoke to him, sharing secrets and guiding him to greater heights of power. Whether this was true or a delusion mattered little. What was undeniable was the effect Monsieur had on Pruett's ambitions, fueling schemes that would shake the supernatural world. And through it all, the whispers of the preserved head echoed in Pruett's mind, blurring the line between ally and tormentor, mentor and victim. You've been listening to The Handover, Episode 8 of Pruett's Sinister Escapades. A queen is dead, a brother betrayed. And Pruett walks into the night with madness cradled in glass. The story may end here, but the whispers never do. To hear more episodes, be sure to follow Dark Magic Stories here on YouTube. Thanks for listening, and remember, some trophies should never be kept.